Alright, so in this video I'm going to be talking about some unexpectedly fast or sleeper cars, as some people refer to them as, in Greenville. I'm going to be comparing these cars to the cheapest supercar in the game, which is the 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo. All these cars cost around half or much less than the Gallardo costs, and are just as fast, at least up until a certain point. Some of these cars require a game pass, but there are also a decent amount of cars on this list that do not require any game passes. Let's get into the video. The first vehicle on this list is the 2006 Jeep Wrangler TJ. In game it is called the 2006 Overland Buckaroo TJ. The starting price is $13,000 and there are two trims. The Climax trim for $13,000. The Climax Open trim for $14,000. Here's how the Jeep looks spawned out. This is the Climax Open trim for $14,000. I think both trims are exactly the same in terms of how fast they are, but I bought the Open trim because it has an interior. Here's how it sounds. So with this vehicle, there are two things that kind of make it somewhat unique. The launch is kind of crazy, especially if you have a third gear launch with traction control off. It just takes off, and it's pretty fast, normally too. Now another thing is, this vehicle has really soft suspension, as you can tell, and if you take corners a little bit too hard, it's pretty easy to roll it over. A lot of vehicles in this game can't roll over, but this one can do it very easily. It's been this way for a long time, and I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't been fixed yet, but it's also kind of cool because there's no other vehicle that can really do stuff like this in the game. Here is now a 0 to 100 braking test. I'm going to do a third gear launch because that's probably the best to do in this. Tops out at 103. Doesn't actually have that bad of braking, to be honest. I was kind of expecting it to be worse. Now, to prove to you that this vehicle is actually quite fast, here's a race of this Jeep racing a 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo, once again, the cheapest supercar in the game. It actually kind of pulls away for a little bit depending on the launch you get. You need to be in third gear and have traction control off. Then the Gallardo kind of picks up and pulls away. The next vehicle is the 2007 Honda Civic. In game it is called the 2007 Elysian Slick. There are quite a lot of trims for this vehicle. Now, the trim that you want to get for this video is one of the SI trims, the SI Coupe, or the SI Sedan. Here's how it looks spawned out. This is the SI Coupe for $6,700. Has a little spoiler on the back to differentiate it from the normal ones, and it has different wheels obviously, although you can't put these wheels on other trims. Here's how it sounds. Alright, so here is a 0 to 100 braking test. Pretty good braking, even better than the TJ by quite a bit. Alright, now we are at the top speed, which is 138 miles per hour. Something else kind of cool about this car is you can do reverse donuts, which is pretty common in front wheel drive cars in this game. If you put the parking brake on, just rev it up and put it in reverse, you can just do basically perfect donuts. Now here is a race between this car and a 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo, like we did with the TJ. And it's pretty even with the Gallardo for quite a while. It's a little bit faster depending on the launch you get, and then the Gallardo once again picks up, which it does on most of these cars after a while. The next car on this list is the 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Starts at $6,000 with the GS trim, but the one that you want to get is the GSX trim for $7,500. Not really that much more. Here's how it looks spawned out, and here's how it sounds. Here is the 0 to 100 braking test. Even better than the Civic was. It stopped way before the pole. In this car you can hear the turbo sound pretty well, and you can hear the blow off. Top speed in this car is 136 miles per hour. Here's how it goes up against the 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo. This kind of pulls away from the Gallardo a decent amount, but the Gallardo is eventually going to pick back up. The next vehicle is the 2021 GMC Sierra 1500. In game it is called the 2021 Bronson Eminence 1500. It starts at $54,700 and only has one trim. This truck does require the luxury pass though. Here's how the truck looks spawned out, and here's how it sounds. It's got some daytime running lights up front. Then when you turn on the headlights, the ring around the taillights lights up. Here's a 0 to 100 braking test. Not really horrible braking, but I think it's about the same as the TJ. Now for possibly the best sleeper on this list, you really wouldn't expect it to be this fast, especially for this price, is the 2000 Volkswagen Golf, also known as the Wolfsburg Pitch in the game. It's the starting price of $8,000 with the 1.8T trim, and the VR6 trim is $12,000. But surprisingly, instead of getting the VR6, the more expensive trim, get the cheaper trim, the 1.8T for $8,000. Here's how it looks spawned out. Pretty simple. Here's how it sounds. And here's a 0 to 100 in braking test. Extremely good braking as well. This car is also front wheel drive like the Civic, so it can do those crazy backwards reverse donuts, and it tops out at 124 miles per hour. Here's how it goes up against the Gallardo. I'm going to do a second gear launch with traction control off, and it's actually pulling away from the Gallardo quite a decent amount actually. Tops out at 124, which is not insanely good, but the Gallardo definitely pulls away after a while. Next is the 2020 Chevy Malibu, also known in game as the 2020 Chevron Venice. Starts with the LS trim for $23,270, the Premier trim for $33,370, the LT trim for $26,670, and the RS trim for $24,270. For this video I'm going to be getting the LS because it's quite a sleeper, but only at higher speeds. Here's how it looks spawned out, not really anything to see here. Rev limiter at about 4,500-ish, and you can kind of hear the turbo. Now, the reason why this car is so good is it is a CVT transmission car, which only has one gear. Now, if you're going to do a race from zero, this car is absolutely horrible, But if you do any sort of race starting at 40 or above, this car is absolutely insane. I'm going to do a 0 to 100 braking test, and if you watch, the car starts off extremely slow, but the higher speeds I go, the faster and faster the car starts climbing in speeds. Not too bad braking either. Now just for demonstration, I'll do a 40 roll here, and let's try to go to top speed. It's just insanely fast. It tops out at 136 miles per hour. This is for $23,000 and doesn't require any game passes. Here's how this car goes up against the Lamborghini Gallardo from 0 and from 40. We are going to do a from a dig and show why it is important to do a 40 roll or higher in this car. You see it kind of starts gaining speed, but the Gallardo went really fast. Now we're going to do a 40 roll, and the Malibu starts picking up insane speed, and for a little bit leaves the Gallardo just completely in the dust, but eventually the Gallardo does pick up since it has a higher top speed. Now the final vehicle on this list is the 2021 Colt Riolu. It requires the electric pass for the version that we need, which is the E-trim. The G-trim is also pretty good as well, but the E-trim is significantly faster. The E, which you want, is for $55,000, and the G-trim is $45,000. Here's how it looks spawned out. This is a fictional car, by the way. This is the E-trim for $55,000 with the only rim option. And here's how it sounds. Not really anything to hear, but I mean, I guess it has a startup chime. Now this car is insanely fast, so we're going to do a 0 to 100 in braking test. In manual mode is really what you want to do because the shifting points in automatic are very low and bring down how fast your car really can accelerate. Pretty good braking as well. All the cars on this list have fairly good braking compared to a lot of the other cars I've tested before. And here's how it goes up against the Lamborghini Gallardo. Now, you want to go in semi for the best shifting because it has really low shift points in automatic, but it just completely leaves the Gallardo in the dust for a long time. Now, if you think the car is fast now, you should have seen this car when it was first added. It was another level of fast. It might have even been faster than some hypercars in the game. I don't really know. I never got a chance to race them. But here's a clip of a 0 to 100 in braking test back when this car originally released. And a race against a Lamborghini Huracan, which is over double as much as the Gallardo costs in game.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, beats a Lamborghini?
And with that, those are all the sleeper cars that I wanted to show in this video. If you find any more sleeper cars, let me know down in the comments. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. See ya.